Well, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JJD TV. I'm your host, Josh, and we're here for the 5 takeaways of the match we obviously just watched between Manchester City and Borussia Dortmund. And yeah, it's a very interesting one, man. It's a very, very interesting one in terms of emotions. I mean, disappointment's one that comes to mind. Surprising result, I guess, is one that comes to mind. I don't know. We'll get into it a little bit here, but we are doing our 5 takeaways. It is a community of 5 takeaways. It'll be relatively quick, so if you guys want to pretty much put in a takeaway and I like it, I'm going to look at the scoreline and select one. We won't be on here for too long, guys, so get in your 5 takeaways so we can get rolling with it. But yeah, I mean, we lost 2-1. I mean, it was a game that was just hard to deal with. And I mean, I'm going to take the first takeaway because you guys know what it's going to be, and it's going to be the ref. Borussia Dortmund deserve a huge amount of credit, man. They went into this Manchester City game and they honestly played the game sensationally. They really did. And they, in my opinion, deserve to probably walk out of this with a 1-1 or 2-2 scoreline. And we all look back to the Jude moment, and people don't realize how huge of an impact this could have on the entirety of the 2 legs, is the fact that if they would have counted that at the time, it would have made the game 1-1. The away goal would have been there. And who knows, maybe that Royce goal could have been the 2-1 lead. It's hard to be able to play out the rest of the game because everything would have changed if that happened. But it was a very poor mistake from the referee. He clearly wasn't ready to make a decision at this kind of level. I don't know exactly what it is, but he had some questionable calls beforehand, and that one went wrong for so many reasons. It's a young, a little bit inexperienced, trigger-happy ref. He should have let the ball go in the back of the net, and then he's open to make whatever decision he wants. He can go to VAR, he can make a decision, but unfortunately for him, he blew it too early, which puts him in a stranglehold on the decisions he can make, and VAR pretty much becomes useless. So there's a few different issues with that, but we want to touch on the ref. I mean, he didn't have a good game. We had City fans in the chat who were awesome. We had Bayern fans as well who said, you guys got robbed, and it's the most #1 comment I read in the chat, and you know it. It's true when the other opponent says it to you guys, and I mean, they're probably open too. They said we got lucky. I mean, you did. We gifted City a goal. It sucked, and then they pretty much gifted one back, but we got lucky and it got chalked off. So our first takeaway is the ref pretty much trying to screw us over all game. He did not have a good outing in that one, and it was pretty frustrating. But a lot of you guys are saying about the scoreline, talking about Meunier, and there's a couple ways. I'm not going to put Meunier in the takeaway. I'm not going to do it because it's hard. I mean, it's hard to judge him because, one, yes, he got beat, and of course it was him. It was always going to be him who got beat. It's just the story writes itself. But Kevin De Bruyne is one of the best passers of the ball in world football. He is. There's no denying that, and he picked out a pin-perfect pass. And Gundogan took it down nicely, found Foden, and just like that, turned the game a little bit more in City's favor. So can you blame Meunier for maybe not being a little bit closer to Gundogan, having his eye caught on the ball? Maybe. Maybe you can. But also, you can't deny pure quality, and that's exactly what Kevin De Bruyne is. So that's why I'm not going to put Meunier in one of the takeaways. But the other one, because I'm seeing a lot of the score lines come in here and talking about how important it is, and it is. So the second takeaway is how this team carried on and showed what they're made of, because I was talking about it a lot. It's not an easy thing to do, to be able to go into a match like that knowing how important an away goal is. Scoring one fairly through Jude Bellingham and getting it chalked off, and then having to recoup against a team that's going to have a lot of possession and be able to try to find another one. And they were able to do it, and it's no other than Marco Reus who was able to break that duck, which we absolutely all loved. And it was great to see that had the pure raw emotion, and it was absolutely fantastic. And it's an important goal. It's a very, very important goal. The absolute ideal, and I mean, I said it before, the scoreline I would have liked was 1-1. 1-1 scoreline. It's a draw, and we have the away goal going into a home leg. Perfect. Didn't quite work out, but I'm 10 times happier going into that second leg, like I said, with a 2-1 lead rather than a 1-0, because that away goal can make this tie go any kind of way. And it was very crucial we got it. I'm very impressed that we did. We carried on. We did our game. Haaland, who was very quiet because he didn't get a lot of service, had a little depth touch at the end there, found Royce, who needed a goal, and he got it. So for that mind, man, it was absolutely fantastic. And the 2-1 scoreline is not a bad scoreline. It's not a bad scoreline whatsoever. Everyone doing well today except for Haaland and Meunier. A lot of people are going at the ref. Haaland's shooting boots have been poor, but he made up to a very good assist that we guys liked. Some of you guys are saying that we were robbed, and there we go. And some people are sticking up for Meunier, and as I was alluding to as well, it's hard to say. Like I said, that's why I'm not going to put my opinion, because it can be looked at 2 different ways. Just how purely fantastic Kevin De Bruyne is, especially with his balls. But if you do take a look, he does lose Gundogan. His eyes are not where they need to be. He lost the man. He gave him that extra step. And when you're as talented as Kevin De Bruyne, you give a player an extra step, he's going to take it. So, I mean, again, I have some people defending a little bit for a man here. But, yeah, it's hard to really go for there. But don't start Chan next leg. Delaney should be played in front of Chan. I agree with that. Meunier 6'3". City have an endless supply of money, no injuries, crazy depth. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's tough to see. But that's gonna be my third takeaway, man. And the third takeaway is that we just aren't able to see it over the line, and it's one that we've touched on so many times. And I don't know. I feel like I'm a broken record talking about it, but we did wonderfully. I was on cloud 9, the fact that we made it 1-1. If that game would have ended 1-1, I would have felt 60-40 we go through. I really would have. I would have felt 60-40 we go through, because that is a tough scoreline to overturn. We have the away goal. We're going home. We're against a fragile psychological team when it comes to this cup competition. Fantastic. But as it comes with man marking and defending, and of course it had to be Meunier, but however it is, doesn't matter how the goal was in, we allowed another goal, and now it's probably 60-40 City go through. It's still not over by any stretch, and I'm not saying it's 60-40, I'm probably just talking about a little bit of just common knowledge, because I think it's like a wide open test, and we're going back home, and we need a 1-0 win now, just because of that away goal. We need a 1-0 win. But it does make the complexion a little bit different, because if we would have went in there with a 1-1 draw, we just needed a 0-0 draw. 0-0 draw would have got us through. But it's just something that has hurt us so much. With a lot of points, especially going for a top 4 this year, we've dropped points towards the end of games. And unfortunately for us again today, whether it's pure genius from De Bruyne, whether it's individual mistake from Meunier, whether it's a little combination of both, we still allowed the goal late in the game. It makes it just a little bit harder for ourselves to go through. But yeah, we're going to go for the fourth takeaway, which I see some of you guys talking about, and it's going to be Knopf. And it was a ballsy play, and it's something I do really like about Terzic, is that he loves to do these kind of decisions, and sometimes it pans out, sometimes it doesn't. Some people honestly thought, like when I put a poll up before the game, I think 80% of you said Knopf was the right decision. That surprised me. In the match, some of you guys said that honestly it was a great game. He did what he had to do. I was somewhere in the middle. I thought he put himself in good opportunities. I thought he didn't have the finishing and kind of just that composure you need in the positions. He did well to get himself in positions, and then he didn't pick out the right pass, or he did the wrong play. But he's a young player in a massive game, so I mean, I thought he did well. I thought he did okay, but nothing special. So it was a ballsy decision. But going on top of that is with Knopf, we may get Sancho back now. So we have the second leg. We're going into it with a 2-1 loss. We need a 1-0 home win to move on. And we're hopefully, and I don't know, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm hoping we're going to get our main man back. And Sancho coming in this lineup could change everything. He would probably come in for Knopf. We saw Knopf come off. We saw Reina come on. And again, Reina was relatively ineffective. But the big thing is that if Sancho comes back and plays alongside Royce and Haaland, it's a very different front three. A very different front three. And knowing you only need to win 1-0, it could change something, man. It can give you confidence. You gotta love it. And finally, as I see, it's a lot of love given out for some of you guys. I think you said, someone said put your 5 takeaways in the bio. I'm not sure what you mean in my bio for the channel, just as a series, or yeah, I don't know. But we're going to do our 5th takeaway on a positive note, because guys, this was a positive result. I thought the team played great. The odd mistake, Chan's first goal was a mistake. It sucked. At the end, whatever you want to live it, it doesn't even mean it has to be a mistake. We gave up a late goal. That sucks. But it was still a good performance against his City squad. I think a 2-1 win, if you would have asked me before the game, I said, yes, I'll take that scoreline. And yeah, but I want to end on a positive note, because it is a positive note going into the second leg with that away goal and only down by 1. And that's a trio here. I mean, maybe even 4, but really for me, a trio. Hummels, Akanji, and Bellingham were sensational. Akanji, one of the best performances I've seen. His speed, his energy, he brings that back forward. Every decision was fantastic, accompanied by Hummels, who threw back the years and was just sensational, just kind of balancing those back four there. He did so well. And Jude is just growing as a player, man. He is so good. He is absolutely sensational, and it's so good to see him keep growing and pressing and winning the ball, and he should have scored. He should have had a goal. He should have had a very important goal for this squad. And then I'm giving a little shout out to Dehu because I thought he did relatively well as well. But yeah, it's going to be fun to hopefully have Sancho back, guys. And it was a good game. It was a good game. It was a good result. It sucks because it could have been better. If the Jude Bellingham goals counted, or if we would have just been able to hold on. But all things aside, I'm going in with a little bit of confidence, and that next leg can go any which direction, guys. But we aren't going too long here today, guys. We do have some places we got to be, so unfortunately I got to wrap up the stream here, but I did want to get our series going, obviously, our 5 takeaways. It's a tradition here on the channel, so I appreciate everyone who was sticking with us throughout the watch along. It was a lot of fun. You guys were absolutely fantastic, and it was a good watch, and wasn't the best result, but it wasn't the worst result. And yeah, and just to sum up really the takeaways, I mean, the big one was the performance from Akanji, Bellingham, and of course Hummels, and then I mean, just having a good overall effort, I guess, is the way to look at it. And getting that away goal was a crucial one. Having our set piece issues were still something. I mean, giving up the late goal is nothing you want to see, and it has cost us games in the past. And it honestly sucks, man. It honestly sucks. But we can all have had an okay game. But the biggest other takeaway is hopefully going into the second leg down 2-1. We're going to have Sancho back, and it's going to be a very different looking game. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. So thank you so much, everyone who was there with us through the watch along, everyone who came here for the takeaways, and everyone who put in their takeaways. And sorry we couldn't keep the conversation going a little bit more, but we do have somewhere we have to get on to. So all in all, guys, bitter ending to the game, but it's not the worst thing. And everyone here should take a little piece of this game and go in with a bit of confidence the next round, because the second leg is wide open, in my opinion. And if Sancho comes back, that could just be the game changer we need. So drop a like if you guys can on your way out. Get us to some sort of goal. I don't even know. You guys killed it in the watch along. And subscribe if you guys are new around here. And thank you guys so much. I'm indifferent about my opinion. That fact that I was hoping for that 1-1, but the 2-1 is okay. And we got something to work with next game. So you guys are absolutely fantastic. A lot of fun chatting with you guys for the last few hours. We'll talk to you soon, and take care.